Good evening, everyone. I'm Shadows Pub, and welcome to Pimp Your Post Thursday, taking place in the Steam at Ramble, and not streamed live tonight. For those who are new to the show, you'll see a message I'm going to drop into the channel with instructions for an emoji you use to enter the queue. When I see the emoji, I'll add you to the queue list and put another emoji by yours. If you want to see where you are in the queue, you could visit DLive, but not tonight. When your turn is called, you will drop your link in the text chat and come into voice to tell us about your post. If you're unable to use voice, then you must have text ready to copy paste into the text channel when you drop your link. And there's Kitty Girl letting everybody know right off the bat about the witness chat this Saturday, July 21st at 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 3 o'clock UTC. When we'll be talking to the witnesses of the blockchain, learning from them and asking questions. The witnesses are the folks who run the servers to keep the blockchain up and running. Without them, there'd be no blockchain. Many of them are also involved in special projects which help the community in many ways. Join us for the always informative time together. Thank you for doing that, Kitty. Get the word out there. Okay, I thought I dropped, maybe I didn't. We're off to a grand start tonight. I didn't drop the emoji message in. But you guys all know the drill anyways.
I know the drill.
Yep, there be Snook. And there be Kurt Ross.
And Kitty Girl.
And the Kitty Girl. And the giveaway is running. So while you're all clicking, you might as well go over there and click the emoji. Kurt Ross, and the giveaway channel is a giveaway that will time out in 90 minutes for SB, Steam Basic Income. So you just click the emoji over there and that'll enter you. Same with you, Skip.
We'll do in just a second. I always forget to do that.
Yeah. I heard a rumor this morning that those that entered didn't really want you to.
We didn't want you to click anyway.
Yeah.
Whatever, assholes.
Do it anyways.
Hey.
So, Snook, what are you sharing tonight?
Well, if I can get into the right channel.
Okay. Yes, come back to voice chat.
Right, exactly. I'm sharing my daughter-in-law's.
Oh, Instante.
Newest post that she posted today, and it's about a fox that she saw at her father-in-law's house, and when she came home, she was so excited. And we've been trying to get her to post more, and I like how she actually did that. Half of it is the English is on the left side, and the Spanish is on the right side. So I was impressed with that, with her formatting on it.
She got some good shots, too.
Yeah, she did. She's got this whole harness that she wears because she's so tiny, and then she's got this big, huge camera, which she needs to put what kind of camera it is, and she wears that around everywhere. This whole big harness thing. And her little birding hat that she wears. She's the cutest thing. It's adorable. But yeah, she came back here after being there and just was so excited that she saw the fox and got some really good pictures of it. I had just seen one.
Did she have a zoom on it, or was she actually that close?
I think she was actually that close.
Wow.
Yeah. But there's a lot of that area. Well, they're just starting to build more houses in that subdivision, so what they're doing is tearing up more of the forest that's there. So I think I don't think that they're used to having a lot of humans around. Unfortunately, they're going to lose a lot of their uh, home, area.
Terrain.
Right, exactly. Because I was surprised when I drove in to drop them off. There was 4 brand new houses being built in this little road that's maybe a quarter of a mile long. I mean, it's a short little road. And they're like, and what kills me is that it's 4 houses like right in a row, like, and big houses. And I'm like, you got all this farmland and you put 4 houses? I don't get it. But
Somebody's taken a piece of property and got subdivided, and they're doing it for profit.
right, exactly. But I don't know why you would buy a house like that. But I mean, if you can afford that house, you can afford, not to have your neighbors 6 feet away from you.
You'd think, wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, I would.
But, that's just us.
True, very true. But yeah, so and if even if you don't vote on it, just offer her encouragement because she's got like 2,000 pictures that are just all that stunning of flowers and birds and plants and nature, bugs and everything, and she's just needs some encouragement because once she starts, her photography is just unbelievable, I think. I might be a little biased, but
No, you wouldn't be biased.
not of my sweet little daughter-in-law, no. You just want to hug or get drunk because she's funny when she's drunk.
Okay, I'll go with drunk.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
So, were these shots made back in Colombia then, or in the States?
No, actually, that's in the United States, and it just happened 2 days ago. Those are from 2 days ago. Yeah, that I'm out in. Well, you don't know where. Probably 10 miles from my house is where my son's dad lives.
I'm surprised how close up she got.
Yeah. And then she was like, oh, and then it started moving, so I was running after it. I'm like, oh, God. I mean, the girl, she will do anything for a shot, really, honestly. She will.
Avid photographer.
Very much so, yes. And if she's taking a picture of you, she will tell you where to stand and in what light, and yeah. Yeah. She's pretty funny that way.
And the little fox was probably more frightened of her than she was of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it's neat because on their farm, they see so many animals that now coming to the United States, in where we are, in the northern United States, she's seeing all different kinds of new animals and birds.
That is.
And,
That's an
and,
incredible shot.
and she's just really having a ball. On the plane ride up, she actually memorized part of her northern bird book.
Well, you got to do something in a plane ride, I suppose.
Not
Not
that.
everybody's like kitty girls checking out the map underneath the plane. I mean,
Well,
the land.
True. Well, she read her and memorized parts of her bird book. I was like, what?
Oh, there you go. Thank you, Snook. Kurt
You are
Ross,
very welcome.
you are up. Okay, Kurt, tell us about your post here. You shouldn't be. No, you're not muted. Are you set up for press to talk, Kurt? Yeah, you were talking just a little bit ago. Try disconnecting and reconnecting. Yeah, you were talking with us just a while ago, so you're set up. So just try doing a disconnect and reconnect. Discord really can be weird sometimes.
You are not kidding.
It's a pain in the ass, man.
Okay. And Kitty Girl, you're next. We'll come back to you, Kurt. You drop out and come back in and see what happens. Go ahead, Kitty Girl.
Well, I'm back with another old barn post. I'm going to try to keep this going, and in amongst all of my pictures of stones and crystals and flowers and things. Yeah, this was a lovely little barn, I thought, perched up on a hill on a piece of property that we drove past when my mom was in the hospice house. Went back and forth every day, so I saw this barn a good bit. Of course, it was real small up on the hill, but it was still pretty. And this is a working barn on a farm that he apparently raises cows and goats and things. And so that barn was probably used to store some of the farming implements. There's a picture in the post from Google Maps Street View that shows these huge rolls of hay behind the barn. I guess he could probably put a few of those rolls of hay in there, but not many would fit because those things are enormous. But this was out in a beautiful little piece of property in the country where miles in any direction there was nothing much but other farms and wooded areas and things like that. There was one factory and then a couple of tiny little stores, not much to them. But it's mostly just rural farmland. It was beautiful country to drive through. I would love to have a chunk of land out in a place like that, not for the farming, but just for the privacy of it. It would be awesome. So, yeah, if you like old barns or homesteading or Americana, old vintage things, check out my old barn posts. You'll be entertained, I think. There's quite a variety in there.
So I wonder if that paint job is weathered or whether somebody tried painting over weathered barn board and it soaked it up.
Well, actually, there's an interesting little twist to that story. The barn is quite weathered, but some of the apparent weathering is probably caused by my processing. When I made a picture of the barn, it was in bright sunlight, and so the barn was just reflecting all this white back to the camera. And I tried to kind of compensate a little bit for it by, tweaking the contrast in the image, and that probably brought out some of that. But it is indeed weathered. And then there's one picture in there where the barn is actually starting to fall apart a little bit on the right-hand side. It's so old. And I do hope he repairs it before it gets too far gone.
Well, I have a couple of barns here on the end of my property, and if I was to try to slap some white paint on them, the effect would be just about that because the boards are so weathered it would just soak it up like a sponge.
Right, absolutely. And I do have a couple of pictures of old barns coming up that are falling apart. Literally falling apart. You can see holes through the sides where boards have fallen down and whatnot. And there's even one barn that's leaning so badly that I can't even imagine that it's still standing now. But I still photographed them anyway. It's rather interesting.
It's amazing
It looks really cool. Sorry, I didn't mean to interject, but it also worked.
That's awesome. Thanks for that comment, Kurt.
So Artemis told me that she sent you a picture of the barn to the west of me.
Yes, it's a beautiful barn too. She said I ought to add that to my list. I don't know whether to catalog it or not, but I definitely appreciated her sending the picture, and I can do some photo enhancing on it, definitely.
Yeah, it seems to have lines on it that attracts people that want to do drawing.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
When I was first here, I haven't had it recently, but when I was first here, it'd be nothing to back into my yard, and there'd be somebody sitting on my lawn painting the barn next door, and it's like, you do know this is private property. Well, yeah, do you mind?
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Well, maybe I'll definitely have to do a post with that barn in it then.
Oh, hey, can I cut your grass? Can I paint your barn?
Ooh, Injun, I can barely hear you.
Yeah, your volume is low, Engine, but
How's
I
that?
did
Is
hear
that
what
better?
you said, and that. Oh, yeah, that is better. Yeah, so yeah, that's a good way to get your barn painted or your grass cut.
Oh, I could use my grass cut. Okay, Kurt, you've got your. Thank you, Kitty Girl. Kurt, you've got your sound back. Let's put her to use.
Hey, it looks like we're working now.
Yeah?
Awesome. Hey, so I posted this a couple days ago. I have a lot of hobbies and activities that I do. If people checked out my post this morning that I pimped, it was about Acro Yoga, but today's is about, or the one that I'm talking about now is about my first swarm capture. I'm becoming an amateur beekeeper. And if you take a look at some of the pictures, you can see just how big of a swarm that I did capture with me and my buddy Dan. And I kind of, this is in a narrative form. It's talking about kind of what happened and how it happened. And then I also kind of go into some details of how and kind of some tips on if people ever see them, like how they would possibly be able to capture their own swarm. I would definitely, if you're looking at it, check out a couple of pictures, but definitely check out the video. It's pretty crazy to see what happens when you try to capture a swarm and the bees start flying all around. So I was able to capture a lot of the pictures and video and document the whole experience, which was crazy. So take a look, please.
So, what kind of bees are those?
Those are honeybees. So actually, we're capturing them, and it's like 20 to 25,000. If we were to sell those on the open market, that's $300 worth of bees right there.
Mm-hmm. And definitely something that needs to be given opportunity to thrive.
You know, it's crazy because that colony, it actually had started to make comb, which was a really bad sign. It was going to die because it was going to be out into the, you know, it's going to be out in storms and things like that. And it would have been destroyed had we not been able to save it. That colony was less of a swarm, which is the way they reproduce, and more of a hive because they were creating comb and honey. And so they were set to live there, and they were about to be fucked.
So at this point, they're going to be heading for hives.
They're in a hive. If you look through, you'll see at the bottom I have them in a hive, and I have them on our camp property now where we're going to use it for educational purposes for the students that come out to our camp.
Yeah, I've got a friend at the branch that started keeping some beehives, and she's got 2 or 3 other people into doing it. And it's certainly needed, or we're going to be losing them.
Yeah, we use too many chemicals in the production of our food, and that really hurts a lot of the hives, a lot of the bees.
Absolutely. And really, without them, the production of that food isn't going to happen.
Yeah, particularly if you like fruit, apples, guavas, oranges, things like that. Those are pretty much almost completely pollinated by honeybees and other types of bees.
Yeah.
Yeah, the farmers around you are probably grateful for your doing this.
Yeah, and so are the people that we took them off their property where they couldn't get to their lakefront spot.
Calumet says these are wild bees, not western bees. That's a question.
Yeah, these are wild bees. These are feral bees that we went out and caught. Who knows where they originally swarmed off from? They could have come from a colony that was, a raised colony. But this one we found out in the wild, so we would expect them to be wild.
That's what matters. That's what matters the most.
So the hive is going to campaign for you to free the bees.
The bees are very much free. They can do whatever they want. But they happen to like their home right now.
Yeah,
So is this a new enterprise for you, or is this the first time you've done something like this?
I purchased a bunch of bees for my camp and set up a hive. So it's not my first interaction or work with bees, but it's my first time actually capturing a wild swarm. I wouldn't say we're going to make it into a big production. We're going to use it more for educational purposes for the campers that come out here. And, we'll probably, for our camp, take a little bit of honey home, which is pretty cool too.
So Damien's just made a comment that he says he understands that the European honeybee is only found wild one place on Earth, which is Australia, where they've actually had a negative impact on the native population there.
Yeah, the European honeybee is actually invasive, quote unquote, to the Americas, but they're so beneficial to our population of fruiting trees that they've become prevalent, and pretty much we can't do what we normally do, our normal farming, without them now.
Damien says everywhere else they're only found in hives.
I'm confused on the question, I think.
It wasn't a question, it was a statement. That apparently it's a negative impact in Australia, but everywhere else they're found in hives.
Oh, you mean as far as like them swarming? Yeah, normally they hive up. Normally that swarm wouldn't have just stayed there by the water. It would have found a new home in a tree or, whatever place that the bees found good. For some reason, the swarms had been there for 2 or 3 weeks instead of the normal 2 or 3 days that it is there. And that was the biggest reason they were in danger, is because they actually tried to make the open air home. So that was the reason why it was such a problem.
So what would cause them to do that when their natural instinct is to actually create a hive?
It beats me. They started making a whole bunch of comb, and then there was actually a smaller cluster that was off to the side too. We're thinking there was 2 queens. It was a really odd, swarm or hive, compared to anything that the guy Dan that I've been working with has ever seen. He's he's done beekeeping for 30 years and never seen anything like that before.
DJoy has asked, what is your take on beekeeping kits?
They're really good if you're gonna start beekeeping. If you buy things out separately, it becomes a little cheaper and you can specialize a little bit more. But if you're just starting out and you don't have somebody to help you along like I had, a beekeeping kit is definitely the way to go.
And if all else fails, go talk to Kurt Ross.
Hey, and wings. The African bee is actually just another form of the honeybee. It's just a little bit more aggressive. It's not really a killer bee, and actually a lot of people are finding that they produce more honey than actually the regular European bee, and actually can defend their colony a little bit better. So there's definitely pluses and minuses to the African bee population mixing with the European bee population.
So it's kind of at this stage a bit of an adaptation in order to survive.
Yeah, absolutely. With the Africanized bees that you have wings stated about a couple statements ago.
That's interesting. Thank you, Kurt Ross. Yes, Kitty Girl, PYPT is very educational.
Depends on who's talking.
Okay. Yes, as it happens, Kurt Ross is a teacher. Kelly Man, it's your turn.
Hey guys, how's it going?
How you doing?
I'm not doing too bad. Just dropping in.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah, it's a good night. It's my birthday.
Well, happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm just dropping in. I'm just going to present a post that we've had for Buddy Up this week. We've got the usual show on a Monday, Drop in the Ocean. This week we were talking about fear. That was our topic, and it was a deep topic. Discussion ranges from week to week, depending on my perspectives, and I think this week was a deeper topic than usual. And for sure, it was a big one. And the 2 winners this week quite rightly so. It was personal, it was heartfelt, and it was real, and I bear with us. Sorry. I've had a couple of drinks and it's hard to talk about this sort of stuff when you've had a few rums on your birthday, but it was it
may
was
be easier for you than the two that wrote the posts.
quite right. But it was real. That's all I can say. It was real, and I think anybody that was voting this week had a hard time. Sorry, anybody that was voting this week, there was two posts that really stood out across the rest. I know, Shadows, you had a fantastic post that was from your time, but the two posts that came out as winners this week were real to the bone, and it was something different. I think it was. I think with our show that we've got, trying to bring out.
It couldn't have been easy for either one of them to write it.
Thank you. Yeah, totally. Sorry, I'm a bit lost for words. It's hard to talk about, but no, you're totally right. It was hard. It was a difficult one for everyone this week, I believe, and the posts that came out of it were fantastic. And if you want to have a little read of the post that came from Drought in the Ocean this week, this is the post for it. You've got the two featured winners, Monchichi and Andy Santix, but go through the runners up too and see what you like about them. But yeah, thanks guys. Really enjoyed it this week.
And next week's topic is discovery.
Yeah, discovery. See what's going to come up next week.
That could get interesting. Maybe not as intense.
Yeah, see, I think that's the thing. We tried when we were initiating it. I was saying to the guys, I was like, right, look, 1 week it's got to be a bit deep. The next week it's got to be more fun and light. Like if it's deep all the time, it's going to be like, for one, how on earth are you going to host that? It's far too much. But really, it's got to be a bit more upbeat. So Discovery's more. It could be anything. It could be absolutely anything.
Yeah, too much deep, you'll end up drowning in the ocean.
You know it. But no, it's a lot of fun. I think we're on next week's the 15th week, and I can honestly say that when we started this, it was always the intention that we could bring people in, put a topic that had meaning, just a word which had a bit of compassion. It's a word, and you're asking people to write every week and, give their perspective, their little thoughts about this word. And I never thought that week after week I would have so many people coming in with so many different perspectives to bring so much to the table. Like, that's what's amazing. Like, there's every week, no matter what it is, no matter what word it is, there's something different to what it's broad. It's not narrow-minded. It's open, and like you can't ask for anything more, especially with education.
For sure. No two ways about it.
So yeah, guys, it's a lot of fun, but check it out. See what you think. It's always fun.
So if you want to write on the topic, which is discovery, you write a post. You use the tag Drop in the Ocean. You post the post either on Sunday or Monday, and then you join the Buddy Up server for 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on Monday and participate in the chat.
So you can only post it on Sunday or Monday?
Well, that's best.
Oh. Okay.
It's more the reason we're waiting until then is because we'll write what happens on a Monday. So we'll have the show on Monday.
Oh.
Everybody presents the posts, and then we'll put them all in a channel in the Buddy Up server. And then from Monday to Wednesday, everybody votes on them. Everybody gets one vote each. and the top 2 votes get featured in the Buddy Up post on Wednesday. So we try and make it Sunday to Monday so everyone gets the most exposure, the most time on the posts, you know. So, but yeah,
totally makes sense.
Yeah, so it gives you a few days to write it and ruminate on it, and then post it.
definitely. And honestly, there's some fantastic writers. It's jaw dropping because the writing seems to improve. I think that's the main thing. It improves week after week. It's different, you know, there's different topics, so it always brings up something different in people, which is, I love it. It's the best thing. You know, when you want to host a show, get people to talk about what they're thinking. It's the best thing ever. This is why P by PT works, you know, like get people to talk about what they love, talk about the post, the love, you know, and it's the best stuff ever. It's the best thing. It's seamless hosting. It's the best thing.
For sure. Thank you, Calman. So
Thank you very much.
we've had some more people come in. So if you just look up above the voice chat text, you'll see a channel there that says giveaway. And there's a giveaway running in there. So if you click on the emoji, when that time's out, 2 people who are present in the chat at the time that it runs out could receive a Steam Basic Income each. So it's a reminder on that. And Ingenuity, you're up.
Yay! 1 second, I'm gonna grab the link.
And I'm sure he's reaching for that link.
Can you hear me okay? Oh, picture didn't come up. Well, Tattoo Jay is a photographer, so even if you can't see the picture there, you need to go over and...
Yeah,
Did it?
I see the
There's
picture.
a poop emoji on my friggin' screen.
Are you ever still low?
Hey, is that better? I'm pretty far away from the mic. My bad.
That's a little
I can see.
Okay, well, yes. I like this particular post. One, because Tattoo Jay's initiated this Wednesday walk deal where people post their Wednesday walks and take pictures of whatever it is they're doing on their walk. This time, Jay went out and took pictures of homeless people, and it puts things in perspective, that a lot of people may take for granted. I mean, you're going around in a city like New York, and there's a lot more there, but like here in my city, it's only 50,000 people, but I know that there's homeless people. I've seen them. I know where they stay. Every now and then, I myself, I'll drop off, bags of cans because I know certain dumpsters that they go to look for stuff, and they can go trade the cans. But yeah, the perspective part, a lot of people take things for granted, and one of them is just simply having a roof over your head. And there's some really gorgeous photography in there. So go check it out. Be thankful that you have a computer and you're on PYPT and not out there trying to hide under some cardboard or something.
Yep. No matter how hard we think we've got it, as long as we've got a roof over our head, we've got somewhere to be. My dad used to have a sign up on the wall in his office, and it said, "I had no shoes and complained until I met a man who had no feet." It always reminds me of that concept.
Wow, yeah. Same thing.
Yeah. Thank you, Engine.
Absolutely.
Clinique, you're up.
Hi guys.
Hello.
Okay, now I actually wanted to do a song for the birthday celebrant, but I just found out that I have to hold the push to talk button and I can't play my guitar and hold the button at the same time. So I think I'll just go ahead and
Drop your
click the
link in
post,
and then
okay?
come back and then push the button.
You can take something
Huh?
really heavy and set it on top of the button.
Sorry. Oh. Okay, let me see how that will work.
Drop your link in and then come back and push the dot.
Okay.
Yeah,
He wants to sing
yeah, he
happy
said
birthday.
he's got a guitar. He was
I really wanted to sing. Let me
Okay,
just find
hang on a sec.
something
Hang on.
heavy enough.
Hang on, she'll fix it.
Okay, for the moment, you can have voice activity. So you need to go into your settings and change to voice active. And then you can do your thing, and then I'll put you back to where you should be. Temporarily, you just became Artemis North. Well, her role, anyways.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. And happy birthday, dear brother. Happy birthday to you. And how old are you now? How old are you now? How old are you now? Oh, I know. Happy birthday to you. Okay, I think I'm done. Woo-hoo! Oh goodness.
There you
Okay.
go.
That was great.
Big up, man. Good on you.
Well done. Okay. Tell us about your post now. Uh-oh, I didn't mute you. Oh, he's
he
muting
has to go back
himself.
to push to talk now.
He's gonna flip back.
Is that
Alright.
the tactic? How do you follow that?
Well, this is what we do, Calvin. You let him sing it first, and then he has to follow his own act.
I've been doing it wrong this whole time.
Okay. All right. So, do I need to put the link back up again, or it's
Drop
there
it
already?
back in. There's been a bit of activity.
I'll do it for you. Just talk.
Yeah, go ahead. There we go.
Okay. Oh, thank you so much, the cute girl. Okay. So, for a while now, I've been writing poetry, and so there was this firm on Twitter that noticed some of my poetic works and asked that I turn in a manuscript to them. So I submitted like 6 of my poems, which they liked, and decided to publish about 50 of my poetic works. So the book which you see now has about 50 of my works, 50 of my prose and my poetry inside it, and it goes for $4.18. So feel free to get a copy of the ebook and tell me which of the really meant something to you. But trust me, you would enjoy every single one of it. So the book is officially out, and I'm super excited. I'm more like a second-time author. The very first book I published had to do with teaching you how to play the keyboard, how to play the piano, and that one I self-published that on Amazon.com. But this one now is a poetry book, and I'm really excited about it. So show me
So,
some love.
did they find your poems here on Steemit or somewhere else?
Yes. That's if you go to the post, you would actually see where I wrote about it. So I've been posting on Steemit, most of my poetry here on Steemit. So on Twitter, someone noticed that I write poetry, and he was like, that there's this firm in Kenya that are interested in publishing African writers. And the manuscript I actually sent them was about 6 of my poems from Steemit. I actually sent them the links from Steemit, and they went through it, and they really liked it and asked that I turn in a complete manuscript for them. So I submitted like 50 of my poems, and they were the ones that did everything and published for me. So yeah.
And as Engine has pointed out, testament to the power of the SEO
Oh
for
yes,
Steemit.
yes. I mean, I enter a lot of competitions like in Africa now, we have some African poets, blah, 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 and blah. And to qualify for some of these contests, you need to be either a published author or you have up to 10, 15, 20 poems. And because of Steemit, I have over 60 or more written poetry, fiction, prose. So it's easy for me to just go to my blog and pick out one of those poems and go ahead with it. I mean, Steemit has really been awesome for me. It's been awesome. It's been beautiful. Yes, Ingenuities, yes, they're all on the chain. Yeah, yes, they are. If you actually go through, although what you have in the book now is more revised. Obviously, because of how I was posting on Steemit, some of them might have some spell grammar errors and all of that, but I fixed every single one of them. I took my time to read over every single one of them, compile them, and publish. So, thank you so much, Kitty Girl. Thank you. I'm much honored. Thank you.
Well done, Clinique. It's nice to hear. We complain about content not being found on the platform, but obviously some of it's being found.
Yes, I took my, most people just post on Steemit just for the sake of posting. For me, for every single um, post that I put on Steemit, I take the time out to store it offline also. Okay, because this is not just about writing to garner upvotes or to get some comments or votes that you cash out and move on. I mean, with Steemit, I've built a life. Okay, and I can't just keep writing poetry, writing fiction, publishing songs that will just go into the blockchain and I will have no use for them. Okay, so this is me saying, I mean, I could go somewhere tomorrow and I can boldly tell them, ever since I met Steemit, I was able to do this and do this and do that, and I could have something to show for it. I mean, if for any reason the blockchain for any reason doesn't exist anymore, I still have the backlog of every single post I have put up on Steemit. Okay, so it's a plus for me, and Steemit is just awesome.
Very good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Clinique. And
Yeah.
Damien, another published author.
Hey, Shadows.
Good to see you. We missed you this morning.
Yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't be here. I'm sorry I missed Monday as well. It's been such a busy week and crazy stuff happening. But let me just drop in a link.
Well, I hope it's good crazy stuff.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. And just busy as it were. So
fill me in some point, dude.
I will. So this is a prose poem that I wrote, and anyone who isn't really familiar with the form, it is kind of a different form. It takes the structural form of prose and the poetic ideals of poetry, and generally it avoids narrative structure. So it can be a little bit strange to read to begin with, because it is his own thing. So the reason I chose the form for this, I used to, back in the day when I was living with my folks when I was young, I used to smoke, and I would hang out the window at night and have a cigarette. And we lived just by a railway siding. In fact, by two, there was one right beside the other, the tracks that went past near our house. And so every night I looked out, I'd see foxes, just traipsing around the streets as though they owned the place, until cats arrived, and the sound, both sides made during the fight was kind of terrifying. And so, yeah, that's really what inspired this piece. And it's the language might seem a bit harsh, but it's from the point of view of a cat, and probably a feral, because there were lots of those around London as well at this time. So yeah.
Instead of putting them in lines like you normally see poetry, you've basically put that into a paragraph.
That's right. It's structured like prose. The one thing that you'll see with prose poetry is the layout is always justified. I tried to do it on this, but Steam it really doesn't like justified posts, so I had to sort that out. But generally, it will look like prose, but it will be justified on the page. And the other aspect of prose poetry is that it eschews narrative form. So it doesn't tell a story. You know, most things you see written in prose, you expect a story, but within prose poetry, you shouldn't expect a story. It's a little bit more abstract than poetry, and it kind of is meant to develop a feeling rather than an actual narrative.
This kind of reminds me of a little story about Artemis. At one time, she wrote almost completely poetry. And when she first went to college, she got her first assignment and she was working on it. And she handed me what she had written to ask me to give it a look over. And I'm reading the first paragraph and I'm thinking, there's something off here. And I went back and I read it again. And finally I looked at her and I went, Artemis, obviously I didn't call her Artemis then. You can't just take poetry and put it in a paragraph and put that in for your assignment. She was so used to writing poetry that's how she'd written her answer. That's what caught my attention when I saw this.
Well, it's not a very common form.
No.
One of my tutors at Bath, she kind of specialised in writing prose poetry. It was one of her big things. I mean, she was a page poet, and she's known for her page poetry. But her kind of second big thing is that she's, you know, even if you look at kind of how-tos on write prose poetry, her name is listed in most of them. And she kind of got a lot of us into writing it because it's in its own way. It feels a lot freer than poetry, and there's a lot less structure. You know, literally the only structure is that there's no narrative. And so for kind of exploring ideas and exploring the minds of things without necessarily, you know, trying to encapsulate a single theme or an idea, which is essentially what a poem tries to do. It's a great form to work in, and it's a lot of fun. You know, give it a try. That's all I can say if you're interested in it. And
You know me, Damien.
Yeah. But look it up, and you know, prose poetry is its own form, and it's one that's, you know, I think it could have a very good place on Steam, honestly, because it is so different, and it's just unusual.
It is very nice. Thank you, Damien.
Thank you, Shadows. Thank you.
D-Joy, you are up. And I think there she is.
Hi, everyone.
You are here. I can hear you. You're a little low, though.
Hello.
Stay close
Can
to
you
the
hear
mic.
me? Okay, you keep reminding me of that. Okay. Okay, my post is about my mom. That was her birthday on Saturday. Was her birthday. She turned 60.
Your mother turned 60.
Yes, my mom turned 60 on Saturday. So I made a poetry for her. I made her read it and she was happy. So it's basically about her because it's been a rough. The past years, recent years have been kind of rough, and I looked at her that day and I found out that she looked far better than I would have expected, considering what I think she has gone through. So I was grateful and I was happy. So that day I and my siblings tried to make her very happy, and we took her for a photo shoot. So that's kind of it, in a studio though, not outdoors. And she was happy. she felt that all was not lost. Kinda going through the poem, you see some things that, okay, a particular thing that made me say the past years have been rough. Talking about my father's death, it was something that came as a shock, and for a long time she battled with it. So it's a poem dedicated to my mom, and writing it, I thought about some things. I dwelt on her. When we are young, all we see is our mom, someone who tells us what to do and what not to do. But as we grow older, we begin to see her as another human being, as another woman, as me being a woman. And we can now look at her, both see her in her weakness and in her strength. And I listed some of those there, and I'm very grateful to have her. And I'm happy she's counting years, and I pray she sees longer years in good health.
Sounds like a good wish.
Yeah.
Poetry Hour on PYPT. Thank you, D-Joy.
Thank you.
All right, Snook, you are up.
All right. Well, which way do I want to go?
I don't know. Which way do you want to go?
We're going to go this way.
Okay.
This is the newest Pants Are Optional, and the guest is the Hive, Jan, that we all know. And it turned out really good. I really liked it. I got to actually get to know him a lot better. So if you always wondered about who he was in real life, then give it a watch. And it's got some pretty funny moments in it, too. So.
And to keep in line of the earlier conversation in the chat, no bees were harmed in the making of this video.
Correct.
Because the hive wouldn't have had anything to do with that.
No. Nobody was harmed in the making of this video.
Kurt says, can't say the same for my post. So who's your next guest?
It's Curtis. Kurt Ross.
Oh, nice. Very nice. Hi, Mandel Sage. Welcome aboard. Well, here's how you participate. I'm going to drop this in here.
I am.
And there's an emoji there that you can drop into the channel, and then I add you to the list. Mandel Sage was over in MSP last night, and I invited him over.
Oh, cool.
Thank you, Snook.
I party without my pants often.
Well, the whole Pants Optional is that you can be on camera with me, or you can not. I didn't want to leave anybody out. So there's people that don't want to be on camera or don't have a camera. So they don't have to be. Like Shadows did hers, and she's not on camera. And then the Hive, Jan, did his, and he was on camera. So that's where the Pants Optional comes in.
It's a pretty cool idea.
Thank you.
Oh, Jan, that wasn't news we needed.
Yeah. Well, you didn't stand up, so
yes.
it was fine.
Okay. Thank you, Snook. And Kurt Ross, you're up. If you just check the chat there, folks, Kitty Girl is reminding everybody about the witness chat once again. Thank you, Kitty Girl. Okay,
I posted this post this morning. It's about one of my other hobbies or things that I like to do. It's called Acro Yoga. Mostly this was just me getting together with some friends in Cincinnati and doing some cool poses and taking a lot of cool pictures. I know a lot of people like doing yoga, which is in itself a really fun practice and really focuses on flexibility. Well, I don't have a lot of flexibility, being the big guy that you see on the bottom there, but I do have a lot of strength and I have a lot of balance. So I get to use those two things when I do Acro Yoga. And we really shot some really cool pictures. And in the set of pictures that you see, you'll see we had a nice little fall in there too. So even though we make some really nice looking stuff, we also mess up. So that's pretty cool too.
Yeah, there's some pretty cool pictures in there. Very nice. You definitely have shared a diversity of interests tonight.
You're only just getting to the tip of the iceberg, my friend.
Well, that's okay. We'll just keep letting you reveal the iceberg.
I think that's the best kind of blog, the one that keeps people guessing.
Yep. Injun says, I like watching yoga, especially, those women in tight skin, huggy clothing. That's a little sexist there, Injun.
They're very
I'm not really looking at the guys. I mean,
yeah, well, I'm not the prettiest man in the world.
Look at the guys. I mean, that's a little sexist.
Oh, that's just me. It's not sexist. It's just personal preference.
Injun Witty, you're not looking at me? That's fucked up, man.
I'm sorry, man. It's just, it doesn't do it for me, buddy.
It's not supposed to. You're supposed to appreciate the craft of doing yoga, not be checking it out.
It is an art. It is an art. I'm not
you should also take a look in there. There's a nice little photo bomb on one of those. If you didn't look through those few pictures, there's one really good photo bomb. So.
Well, yeah, I was in the Boy Scouts, joined when I was 8. And when I turned 14, I joined the Girl Scouts. So, yeah, I liked the girls back then.
Oh,
like
man.
variety there, Dan. All right.
Woo!
Thank you, Kurt. And Sean's Porter. So this is Sean's first time. There we go. He's got the link right in there. And come on to voice and tell us about what you've written about here. He's got his voice set up. Oh, I see a flash there. Go ahead.
Oh, there we are. Hi.
Gotcha.
Thanks, everyone, for having me. I've seen the posts a long time and finally got to get on the one. So I'm Sean Porter. I'm a journalist and political scientist from the Seattle area. I'm a co-producer of Unite Seattle Live, which is an LGBT live show in Seattle. We use the revenue made off of this magazine to do our live shows. And I decided to try and start posting the issues on Steemit and try and make it a regular thing, see how it goes. So I hope everyone likes the content, and hopefully everyone's looking forward to more, because there'll be some.
So is there anything in particular you want to highlight in this content?
Yeah, well, mainly what I kind of want to highlight is the whole idea. I'm sure most people know that the publishing industry has seen better days. I kind of went into it thinking that, oh, cool, it's going to be new and exciting. But then I graduated and it's like, there's no jobs. No one can afford to hire you. What are we going to do? Well, I'd love to think that we can use blockchain technology to maybe help the publishing industry instead of, having to worry so much about ad sales, which we still do. It'd be great to get a community here to follow and regularly support the publication. And so that's really what I just want to build a community. I know there's an LGBT community here. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of content going towards them or representing them. And I'm a straight man, and I'm just a very big supporter of the community. And, so I just wanted to put it out there, have people know about it, and hopefully in the future everyone will be able to, come in, jump in, and chat about the different articles that will be in there. So it's more of just an overall, say hi and let everyone know what I'm doing sort of thing.
Great stuff.
Sean, are you by any chance familiar with a Discord community called the Writer's Block?
I am, and I was kind of confused about the purpose of that, because I remember reading that it said like no original posts, only if you need help writing, and so I thought it might not be appropriate for that.
Why don't we let Rhonda tell you whether it's appropriate or not? She's one of the
Yeah,
All right.
and they're launching their own publishing arm in the very near future too. So might be something there that you could use.
Rhonda, why don't
That's
you tell them
interesting.
about the writer's block?
Yeah. I'm not sure what it meant by no original posts. We don't allow people to link drop in the channels. We do have some dedicated link drops.
Oh,
For
okay.
people who are members, but we don't like spending. We are a community that's building editors and building writers and trying to strengthen the content creation on Steemit. And we do have front end coming. That's condenser front end that's going to focus on creatives specifically and quality content creation. And the third point of the triangle, of course, is the publishing house. And it's going to be modeled in some ways after a traditional publisher in that we're going to market to the mainstream. However, it's going to be crypto backed and it's going to have tentacles down into the new front end and into the writer's block. So we're kind of covering all the bases there.
Very cool. Yeah, I'll definitely look into it. It sounds like something that would be right up my alley then.
Yeah, Kitty Girl's dropped the link in there to it.
Yeah, we've been focusing lately more on actual working on the craft because we don't believe you ever outgrow an editor. And so we're trying to help teach people to self-edit, but also to edit the work of other people because that's where the magic happens. It's not in the first draft or the second draft, sometimes the third draft. It's in that edited draft. Yeah.
Indeed.
So, yeah, it is. And so here lately we've been doing something called Editing 101, which is really fun because we work on, we invoke fair use, for teaching purposes, and we take some text out of published best-selling books by best-selling authors, and we bring them in and we edit them. And it's been a real eye-opener for some people, to see just how much even that work can be improved with some TLC.
It's good stuff. I mean, I'm a reader. I ain't a writer, but you can look at my posts and tell that. But I learned a lot. I dropped in there just out of curiosity because I'm kind of nosy like that. Well, you know old Sarge there, Sean. Got my nose and everything. But,
Oh yeah.
yeah, but it is. It's well, yeah. Well, actually, I know Sean. I met Sean about 2 years ago down at D.C. He's the fella I was telling you all about this morning.
Yeah.
This morning.
Oh yeah.
Him and
So Sean, this is your first time presenting, so you will now find that when you go to type, you will have blue on your name instead of the gold that was there before, the greeny gold that was there. So you now have
and what does that mean?
attendee role.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
So that means if you want to drop a post, drop it in the PYPT attendee place. You never want to drop a post in the wrong place. Take it from Sarge. You get in a lot of trouble for that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's some little troublemaker called Shadows that keeps an eye on that.
Yeah, whenever you do drop a link in anywhere in this server, we do appreciate it if you would type a sentence or two beforehand, introduce the post, and let people know why you think it's valuable, why it's being presented.
For sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you all. I'll see you around. I'll try and make them more regular appearances. So thank you.
Sounds good. We also have, if you scroll up a little bit, you'll see a channel there is called Show Schedules, and you'll see what other shows we have on during the week.
Nice. All right. Thanks, guys.
And Jan, a.k.a. The Hive, you're up.
Oh, forgot I was here just listening to y'all.
I thought you were off watching your video.
This is just a quick post. I've been getting a few people asking me about the votes and what their vote is worth and stuff like that. So I've just done a quick breakdown in this post of when you actually vote with someone, depending on your staying power and how many votes you've done previously, determines how much reward you are giving to that post. So I've just done a simple breakdown in this one. It's mostly about the breakdown of the voting more than the reward.
Okay. Thank you. And I'll just remind everybody that there's about 26 minutes left in the giveaway channel. And remember, you have to be in here at the time that it's drawn. Thank you, Jan. Ingenuity. You are up. So sorry about that, Bluefin. Ingen, are you with us? Ingen, he's deafened and muted. What is he doing?
Who has today? Who knows?
He may have had a phone call.
That's possible. Okay, so Clinique, you can carry on, and we'll come back to Ingen when he gets back to us. And Clinique is deafened and muted. Rhonda, you're up.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, hang on. I'm dropping another link to a post by Muxie for the writer's block. I was actually going to try to have a point of view post done by the time this afternoon rolled around, but that just didn't work out. I haven't even started it yet, so that's laid plans. So, but this is one I don't think I covered this morning, as we all shared so many. This is the post from GMUX about the Steam Creators Conference in Toronto that the Writer's Block is going to get to go to and unveil our new front end. We should have it live by then. Our IT team has been working hard, and there's been a lot of chatter behind the scenes. So we are going to get to unveil that, talk about the publishing house. What's really cool, just extremely cool about going to Toronto is that it was sponsored by one of our investors and, someone who's also on the IT team. There are some terms, as far as repayment, but if you look at it's all in I think it's in this post. He set this up, just a shining example for how I think financial services could be offered on the blockchain in the future, as far as he's rolled it up so that he makes a little, and then a little bit of it comes back to the nonprofits and some of the other initiatives that are going on the blockchain. So I'm very happy with that and really want to see a lot more of those financial transactions like that on the blockchain. But the other really cool part is that at this conference, we're going to have me, GMUX, and Jason Butterfield. Jason Boo is at Jason Boo. He is the project coordinator for our IT team, and he's going to get to present from a technical standpoint how this new front end is going to work and how it's going to benefit creators and how it's going to rise, lift our voices above the noise where trending won't matter and bid bots won't matter and those types of things, shit posts won't matter. He's going to explain the tech that's going into this project that will make all that possible. So we're very excited about that, about having him there. And GMUX and I will be talking about the other parts of this. But GMUX talks a little in this post about how really if we had sat down and tried to hammer this out detail by detail, we could never have gotten it to go as smoothly as it actually went. It's almost like there's an unseen force just guiding it. And he's not a religious person and I'm not a religious person, but you just have to admit when you see how all the pieces of this fell into place to, kind of quote what he said in there, some deity somewhere is sure, got a penchant for quality fiction because they are, there is really a lot of push behind this and we are very, very happy that we were able to be a part of it here at its inception.
So I guess the next book you're going to read is called The Secret?
Well, the title totally cut out. What'd you say? Come back with that?
I said maybe the next book you're going to read is called The Secret,
Maybe.
one about the law of attraction.
Interesting. Yeah, could be. Yeah, I may have to look at that.
Immense power when a group of people with similar interests get together to work toward the same goals. This is true.
No, I haven't read that Ingenuity, and I do believe that I've heard of it now that she's, described what it is. But yeah, there is definitely something at work. There's no question. I mean, it's a powerful thing, and it pulls all these similar interests together and empowers them. So it's a common mind and a collective consciousness type of thing, and pretty interesting. Yes, Ingenuity, you're very magnetic. Absolutely. Just ask Abercrombie.
Okay, on that note, thank you, Rhonda. Ingen, give us your magnetic self.
My magnetic self. Bzzz.
Yeah, that's a claim that's made, Azaria. I don't know if that's been proven yet.
And actually, that quote that I dropped was not from The Secret. It was from another book, but it kind of sort of went along with the whole conversation. So,
See, I've had a lot of other people confirming it, your sister included, Shadow. So, okay, we have. Oh, why does it keep giving me the fucking shit emojis tonight?
Well, the last time it came up, there's actually reason for it on this one. There's no picture in the post.
Well, there's the little banner down at the bottom. You think
Yeah, I
it
don't
would
think
pull
it picks
that?
those banners up.
Huh. Okay. Well, there's another new witness with all these people presenting their poetry tonight. Perhaps they might be interested in checking out what Poets United is all about. Yes, there you go. I've been trying to help them grow and get their community situated. Kind of, it's not like right at the front burner, but it's back there 2 or 3 behind, the Alliance and several other ones. But I've been doing what I can to help them out. I'm not sure if any of you are familiar with Angel Vasilyanov. He's a poet himself. Sometimes he can be a little more adult than most poets out there. And then there's Medevi, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. He's the tech behind it. It's pretty good. They had it set up and running right away. So if anybody has any extra witness poets and they love poetry, go check them out. You don't necessarily have to give them a vote right away, but yeah, clinics over there, you need to pop in and see them. I can grab a link for the we didn't steal them. Y'all came over freely. I don't like to steal things.
No.
My hands are clean, buddy.
They are well deserved. They are well deserved, man.
Yeah.
Angel was in.
If they weren't all quality people, we wouldn't have accepted them, to begin with. So they're saying something right there, right?
Badass, sexy witnesses. That's all that the Alliance can provide.
Heck yeah, buddy.
Okay.
But, yes, Poets United, new witness. Also, congratulations to Sapphic. She got her first block a couple days ago. Who's also a new witness. But, let me find a link for the server for you interested poets real quick.
All right. Thank you, Ingen. And Clinique, you're back.
Okay, so I am part of a community on Steemit. I'm sure most of you have heard of the Stack community on Steemit. Okay, so I decided to start a poetry slam contest. That was 2 weeks ago. It's a contest that runs bi-weekly. So the idea is for every single week we put out a particular theme for the week, and we have people from all around the Steemit community turn in their submissions. Last week we had about 14 submissions and we had just 5 winners. The winner goes home with 5 SVD. The first runner-up, second runner-up, third runner-up, they each get 0.5 SVD as well as an upvote worth of about 2 Steam dollars from our community accounts. The whole idea is just to encourage poets in the blockchain to keep writing. This week we already put out a new contest, and the theme for this week's contest is happy ending. So the idea is they write a poem that doesn't necessarily have to include the words happy ending, but should tell the story of a happy ending. They have rules and every other thing. So it's really new and run bi-weekly so that we all can also have time to do other things we do with ourselves on Steemit. So they have a particular day when they submit the post, have a particular time when submissions are closed, and the judges, myself and one other person on the Stack Discord community, take the time to go through every single poem and choose our final winners, and also have some honorable mentions too. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you.
Damien, you're up.
You look a little
Hey again,
scared there.
Shadows.
All right, you.
That was my serious face.
Hey again. Okay, let me just drop a link.
Absolutely.
Okay, so this is my week's writing tip. It's quite a short one, but it's a kind of important subject. It's all about bringing the senses and real feeling and real as what they call on the body sensation to your writing, and how important that is to draw the reader in. It's one of the things that a lot of starting out writers tend to forget, and it really is a way you can awake the senses of the reader actually reading the piece. So if you talk about a certain feeling of sensation on the body, or a smell, or a taste, you can get your reader to experience that as they're reading. And it's such a big part of developing the world and making your world real for the reader. And yeah, that's really what the post is about. So go have a read.
All right.
I'm interested in wondering what you think about, is it equally attributable to nonfiction and fiction writing? How do you think that works? This coming from a journalist more than a creative writer.
Oh, absolutely. It's another great way of pulling people into nonfiction, especially narrative nonfiction. But even with kind of, normal nonfiction, any kind of cue you can give your reader that brings them closer in is something that's worth putting in. So if you're talking about I don't know, going to the cinema to see a film, for example, and reviewing it, tell them about the taste of the popcorn, tell them about the taste of the drink and the smell of the nachos from the guy next to you, and all of a sudden it becomes more than a review, and it brings them into that little world for the moment they're reading. And that is, one of those really good elements for writing reviews, is that you don't just want to review the whatever it is you're reviewing. You want to take them into your world and show them how you're seeing it and how it's affected you.
Very cool. Very cool.
All right.
So yeah, definitely use it for nonfiction as well. Poetry, fiction, whatever you're writing, bring your reader in.
Sounds good. Thank you, Damien.
Thanks, Shadows.
And D-Joy, you are up.
Hello again. This is a poem I wrote this night. I was feeling a bit sad. Yes, I think I lost a friendship this night, so it just came from my heart, and I wrote it down. I was very sad, but I think these days I'm learning to let things go as they come. I'm learning that I can't control everything, so accept some things and only fight what I think I should fight. So this post is a poem about how I felt when it came to the what I think is the end of our friendship. I'm hoping it's not really the end, but that's how I felt. It's talking about the fear I feel and my helplessness and the weakness I felt generally. So that's it.
Okay. Your mic is not always the clearest. It really takes some work to hear you, DJ.
Sounds almost like some
Okay.
lightsaber or something.
Okay. Did you? I think I was too close to the mic this time. Can you hear me now?
Clinique, enough with the comments. Yeah, I can hear you, DJ.
Okay, I was saying I wrote it on the spur of the moment when I think I lost a friendship this night. So I just
No, we're losing you again.
come on. Maybe it's my network, I guess. Because yeah. Oh well, you guys should go read
Yeah, read the poem. Thank you, DJ.
Yeah.
Good try. Okay. Katrina, you are up.
Yay, I love this one. Can't hear you, Katrina, if you're talking.
Yeah, haven't heard her yet. She's going to drop out and come back in again.
It is every time.
Yeah. That's got to be frustrating for her.
For everybody that it happens to. It happens to me too.
I
I'm
like
sure it's
it.
happened to a few other people.
I like it because you get the chance to read it slightly before she gets back.
So,
that's
how about
the
now?
plan.
There she is.
I haven't changed a thing. My Discord is exactly the same as it was this morning. I just may have closed my computer and opened the laptop lid again. Anyway, most of you have already seen this post, but I'm extraordinarily proud of this, and the more distance I get from it, the happier I am with it. And Damien, the post that you just dropped about senses, the intro to this post, the first section of it is like very sensual and just really bringing nature in and between it, I don't even know how to describe the play between the dream and the dreamer rather than it being a first person experience. It was like I was trying to write third person but make it first person for the reader. Probably not explaining that very well, but that's how I'm thinking about it right now.
No, that's a good description. I mean, that's limited first person, deep point of view, and that's exactly what you should be aiming for. So it's good.
Thank you. Yeah, so I'm happy about I'm happiest about the first part of this, and I'm trying to figure out if I want to shift the lyrics of the song some more to reflect the first part of this more. Whitty was talking about doing a reading of the intro and weaving that into the song some.
Yes,
I'm not sure where I want to
you
go.
could play just some soft music, and then I could read it, and then you could start singing. I think, oh, it sounds friggin' awesome. Yeah. Because I love it. I love it.
Well, I think we should definitely do a version that way. I have a feeling there's going to be a few different mixes of this by the end, whatever the end is.
And I want to be sure you see the comment Caluman put in the chat. He said, "This is phenomenal. I am so glad I was here to see this."
Thank you so much.
Big up. This is A class. This is the one. This is good.
I'm blushing over here.
Ooh. We got Katrina blushing. Or does it take much?
No.
It doesn't take much.
Quite right. This is an art. Like Damien says, like it's a sense of yourself where you go into yourself enough to let this sort of art, this sort of meaning out, and to view it as a masterpiece. It's amazing, and it's there on my screen right in front of us. It's fantastic. It's amazing.
And that image that you chose is really wonderful too. It's officially called the Eagle Nebula in Ophiuchus, but some people call it the Star Queen. It's just a magnificent birthplace of stars. It's a fantastic image to have picked to go with this post.
I was gonna ask you, Kitty. I was like, "Hey, do you do what constellation or something is that?" That's awesome. Thanks for popping that out there.
Yeah, it's in the constellation of Ophiuchus, which is one of the constellations that the Milky Way kind of glances through, and it's just a phenomenal nebula there.
I love nebulas. I love that it's the birthplace of a star and of stars. And yeah, it makes a lot of sense considering this is sort of the birth of a song. I don't think I knew that was the Eagle Nebula, and I love that. Thanks for pointing that out. Eagles are one of the animals that I tend to relate to.
Well, I didn't realize that. That is very appropriate then.
Mm-hmm.
It is, and I live in a place where we have bald eagles that live here, and it's amazing. I'm super grateful. When I lived in the United States, I never saw eagles, and now that I live in Canada, I see them all the time.
So, Katrina, where are you from the Okanagan?
I am very much near the Okanagan. Yeah.
So are you in any immediate danger with those wildfires that are going there?
No, no, I'm basically, there's a whole bunch. I looked at the fire map this morning and last night, and it's sort of a daily, sometimes obsessive thing in the summers to look at where the fires are. But yeah, right now our area is clear. We didn't have the kind of lightning storms that they did.
Well, let's hope it stays that way. Thank you, Katrina.
Thank you.
And Mandel Sage, this will be your first time. So if you drop your link into the text chat and come on to voice, are you set up for push to talk?
Oh gosh, I'm so nervous.
You're okay. And you've got your voice, so just drop your link in. There we go. And come on, tell us about this post that you've got here.
Okay, so first of all, thank you very much for inviting me last night from Snecky's show, the Main and Snecky show. I'm very glad to have discovered you guys. I mean, I've been listening to everybody here for the last 40 minutes, and it seems like a really good thing you've got going on here.
This has been going here for 8 months.
Oh, really? And I joined 6 months ago.
There you go.
I guess I was just late to the whole Discord thing. I've been using it forever for gaming, but yeah, anyway. So yes, this post is a challenge to everybody. Well, okay, first a bit of background. I am an artist, and as I say, I've been on Steemit for 6 months, and I've found it really, really good, both in terms of the main thing that everybody gets attracted to Steemit for, the rewards. And also it's been very good for my productivity. I think I found, that having that thing of posting regularly has made me be able to be more productive and more creative. And something that I sort of started noticing in the last little bit is how I think everybody can relate how we're very focused on content production, getting our posts out there. And quite often interaction and engagement on the platform can go sort of past. We don't give much attention to it as much as we should. And so I thought, how could this be addressed? And the video is basically that. The challenge is for everybody to put their faces on camera and share with their followers, share themselves, and show yourself, become vulnerable, and in that way you get to know your followers better, because hopefully they're doing the challenge as well, and they get to know you better on like a human to human basis. Bring back a bit of the humanity to it, instead of always just thinking about how many upvotes you're going to get. Because part of it was as well that I noticed with myself and many other creatives that we post and we get upvotes, but we don't get many comments. And of course, we appreciate the upvotes, but getting one really meaningful comment often feels, it feels like, worth 10 upvotes. So, yeah, I'm trying to bring that back.
Can I step in here? This is a point. This is a point for me.
Sure.
Humanity for me. I love this. I struggle because I've got a community. I love a lot of people here, but it's not so much that I don't want to show my face. I've got no problem with my face or who I am, but I understand where I am in this atmosphere, this ecosystem that we've got that is crypto. And I don't want to show my face for the respect that I just don't feel safe. But I love my community. I love the people around us. I want to take part in this project, and I'm not going to show my face. I'll make a little video. I know Dreamsteam made a little video which was bad karaoke with Snook, and it was a little owl. She sang with the little owl, and it was fantastic. It was brilliant. It brought people together. It made something. I don't want to show my face, but I would love to do a video where I just express myself and speak,
Yeah, that's exactly.
And I think what if you want to move forward with this idea, the best thing that you've got to do is don't give choice paralysis. If you're going to do it, say every week, say this week I want you guys to talk about this, say this, talk about this and just express your feelings and make a little D-Live video, make whatever it is, and it doesn't need to be your face. The face it excludes a lot of people. It closes people off. Like, I hate that. That would have closed me off if I hadn't had a few rums tonight and it wasn't my birthday. But I've got to be honest. But if it was more like, look, express yourself. It doesn't need to be face to face. It just needs to be you. Just express it, record it, chat, say what you think about the topic, and do it. And look, that's all I'm saying. Send me a message because it's something I need to do, because I love my community and it's something I struggle with, because I feel like they need to see my face, but I don't want them to see my face because, you know what I mean?
Thank you for that,
I had a little conversation about this last night on Main and Snacky's show, and I mentioned about, he'd be getting some that'd be using face rig. Then when I explained what that was, he went, no, don't want that. And I said, well, with me, you'd have your choice between face rig or my cat. And he said the cat would be acceptable. So you have options.
That's right. Yeah. I just don't like those little cartoon faces. But I mean, be it face rig, Callum, thank you. That's exactly, I actually tagged 3 people because that's part of the challenge. And all of them are people who apparently are really shy in front of the camera and basically feel the same way you do.
and I suggested to them.
It's not shine. Like, see if like I've had Facebook and I play guitar, I sing. I'm very much I'm outspoken as much as the next guy. For my identity. See my identity as me.
Right.
Is when you talk about Facebook and people in your close sphere, it's one thing. But when you start learning about the crypto sphere, when you start learning about the safeties, about potentials, about different things within it, identity becomes a different thing. And that's not to say that the identity who you are is different from your crypto identity. It's more to say that your crypto identity has to be more protected because it's something different. And that's where I'm saying is more like I would love to express who I am to people, like my community, to people here. You know, like I love chatting to everybody here. I love chatting in PYPT. I love chatting to these people. I love everything about that. But face is the next step because then somebody can go onto the blockchain and look, and it's like you're looking down the eye of the needle. That is the face to that account. Do you know what I mean? And that's where I'm a bit more like, nah, fuck that shit. That's security bound. Do you know what I mean? So instantly when you say like, oh, I want people to come in and be like, do a video of yourself. It's like, if I wasn't drunk, I would have probably not even been listening now. but it's more the fact,
well, I'm glad that you are.
But this is the thing. It's more like it's approach. It's approach.
Mandel
No, you're quite right.
Mandel says, are you familiar with what a face break character is?
Well, to be honest, no. I imagine that it's like these the apps that you get with the Samsung. I think it was Samsung that made an app where you like look at the camera and then it creates an avatar for you, something like that.
Similar to that, yeah. You're basically a talking head, but you don't look like yourself.
Okay.
I
see what
Snook has put
yes.
there is face rig.
Well, so okay, now here that's what I wanted to continue with.
Position.
Yeah, it's really the main point. I mean, I did focus. It's true on putting your face on the camera and becoming vulnerable. But yes, in my next video, I'll make a point of talking about this issue that indeed it doesn't have to be your face. The main point is that you are on there and expressing yourself, so that people can hear, can get to know who you are, and add an extra dimension to your blog, to your posts. And also, I have a new idea called video comments, which I'll be posting tomorrow, where basically just grabbing the camera and whatever the case may be, just recording your voice or your face as well, and responding to people's posts in the comments with a YouTube video. I did a quick 1-minute experiment on one of Poetic Snake's posts, and she really liked that a lot. So yeah, that's the main thing that I want to do, is to bring, instead of just the words on the screen, say what you want to say, what you would have said with words, but with your voice, with the camera. And Poetic Snake, by the way, she's one of the people that I challenged, and she has accepted the challenge, and she'll be posting. She said she has an idea. She also, I don't think, will be putting her face on the camera, but she's got a creative idea. She said that, and I'm looking forward to seeing that.
I have a feeling Snecky the puppet will appear.
Yes, exactly. I think
actually,
so,
that'd be kind of cool, because Snecky the puppet I haven't seen in a while. So that
exactly. I saw that ages ago, the puppet, before I even got to know her. By the way, I've become a curator on for You've Got Snacked.
Oh, good.
Now.
Congrats.
So yeah, it's nice. I'm becoming sort of more involved in communities here. I'm feeling good about that.
Well, if you take a look up in the show schedule under the Rambling Radio, up there about 4 or 5 um, channels, you'll find that on Tuesdays, Artemis North and I do a show called Curation Corner, and you might find that interesting.
Yes, you mentioned that as well last night. I'll definitely check that out. It's on the other day that I work quite a lot, Tuesdays and Thursdays. But
That's right too. You did mention that.
yeah, but I made
The
it
recording goes
today.
out.
So is it the same? Oh, it's a recording. Okay. No, but is the live show about the same time as today?
The live show is done at 2 p.m. Eastern, which is 6 UTC.
2 p.m. Eastern is 1 p.m. here. Oh, that's like, yeah, no, that's fine. It's about my lunchtime. I'm in Brazil, by the way, East Brazil.
Okay. Okay. And
Okay, cool. So
Candlestick,
thank you. I think
you
I've
have
taken.
received your PYPT attendee role, and there is a channel here that you can drop your posts into, but do a little introduction of them.
Oh, yes, sure, of course. Okay, thank you very much for
Welcome.
the time.
Snook, you're up.
Hi.
Hello.
Can't hear you if you're talking.
Oh,
Okay,
this is
there we
not
go.
the link I wanted.
I was wondering what you were doing.
Yeah, sorry.
It's really cute, though.
It is.
This is what I want. This is a poem that I wrote the other night, and it really wrote itself. And I explained that in the post. But then I went on to make a video, and that character is a face rig character. I found some new settings, so I had fun with that. And the background is a world I built years ago in another game that I use. So it's actually fun for me to put them all together, all the different things that I've been doing over the years. And then I read the poem, and yeah, it was really good. It just needed to be written, and it wrote itself. But I really liked how it turned out, so I wanted to share it with as many people as possible. And it's probably the longest poem I've ever written, because I'm really not a poem writer. But let's not go there. But that's a whole other story.
And that'll be in another post.
But yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Okay, that's the one I was going to share, so now I have to find another post. I really like that one.
oh,
Touching.
yeah.
Just, yeah.
It has, for me, it has a lot of meaning to it, and I like the way it's. You read it really nice. Engine was testing out his D-Live, and he did a reading of it. I don't know how much it showed up on there or not. And then he read Katrina's afterwards.
Yeah, I only did Katrina's about halfway through.
Okay.
But yours came out really good.
Yeah, and I was.
Well, I'll do it again when I have it situated. But yes, that's what I see. Because I don't know, I'd like to think of myself as fairly close to you, so I know some of the things that you go through and have gone through. So reading it and feeling it at the same time is, yeah. I got a little teary-eyed just saying.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got one little formality here. Bluefin and Dan, Sergeant Dan, are you both present?
Yes.
You both have an SBI coming. Congratulations.
Woo-hoo. Congratulations, fellas.
Thank you.
And Bluefin?
I
first I need to give a speech. I want to thank
Girls,
my agent for letting me win tonight. He made it all possible.
And who's your agent?
It makes me want to break out in song. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day.
Okay.
So I am dropping a link. Oh, I already did. I dropped the link, and irony in my backyard. I have, as some of you know, I have a few here and there, a few bits and pieces in my garden. And I was telling people about 4 years ago, I bought a plant that was about a foot high, and the potted plant was a 6-inch pot. And I planted in this huge herb garden that I have that's a couple of meters wide by a couple of meters square. So about 2 yards by 2 yards, for those of you that don't do meters, is all herbs. And I just put this little tiny raspberry bush in the plant, and I mean in the garden there. And about, a week or two ago, I just noticed the thing is overgrown the entire herb garden. So it's now like a 6 foot by 6 foot or 2 meter by 2 meter bush of raspberry bushes. And all of these hundreds and hundreds of raspberries that I've been picking. And the real irony is, I don't like raspberries.
Jesus.
I eat the jam. I'll make jam out of it, and I'll also I pick it because my kids love it. My daughter loves it, and my wife loves it, and so I'll pick the raspberries for them.
I just don't understand. I don't understand how you don't like raspberries. It doesn't. They're so good.
And the other fruit one other fruit I have planted are these hanging strawberry pots that hang off of the porch, and I don't eat the strawberries either. I'm not a red fruit person. I love blueberries and I love plums and other things, but not the strawberries and raspberries.
Could I go to a limb here and suggest that maybe your favorite color is blue?
Yeah, I know. It's kind of ironic, huh? It's tough to tell.
Yeah, it is.
So anyway, that was the post. I was out in the garden and taking some shots, some pictures of the things in my garden, and there you go.
And Ingenuity just come up with the reason why you're not really into red fruit. Red apples are poisonous, especially ones grown by witches.
Oh, definitely. Yeah,
that's stuck in your head and rooted deep at a young age, I bet. The whole Snow White story.
Come here, little child. I have something for you.
Thank you, Bluefin.
Ah, thanks.
Clinique, you are up. And if you're on voice, I'm not hearing you.
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
All right. So this is one of my. Okay, this is my latest open mic submission, and it's kind of different from all the other songs, all the other original songs I put up on Steemit. Usually, my songs they have some bit of soul and R&B feel, but for some reason, this one just jumped out of my guitar, actually, not from my mouth, because I just found myself playing the tune that morning, and the song came out. So I titled it "Sweet Sweet Mama," and it doesn't mean mama as in mother. It's mama as in my wife. So enjoy this one.
Okay. Thank you, Clinique. Caluman, you're up.
Let's see if I've got this in my clipboard. Okay, so what I wanted to say with this post is for anybody that has come to Steemit, dropped in and just thought like, I like this, someone's going to pay us money for my content. Someone's going to do this. Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ. This sounded so much better in my head before I was going to speak. So I love Steam Monsters. I've been involved in it since it started. It's been so much fun. There's a lot going on. There's so much hype about it and so many people involved and it's so much fun. So what I've started to do is like, I was just making artwork for it, different things, dividers, avatars, like honestly, seriously basic shit, like the easiest. It might sound fake. It's simple. It is seriously simple on my side of things. So what I'm trying to say is, after maybe a few months of messing about with some software, everything I do in these posts is with GIMP. Mess about with it for a little bit. Try and like make some shit for sorry guys, this sounded so much better in my head. It sounded so much better in my head before I was speaking it. You caught us right. I was talking to Dreamsteam. Dreamsteam was messaging us, chatting, saying stuff to us a message before I was even presenting this. Now I've totally lost my train of thought. What I'm trying to say is, graphical artwork on the computer is so fucking simple. It's not even funny, right? All you're doing is getting a picture online that is licensed. It's from Unsplash, it's from Pixabay, whatever it is. Distort it enough so nobody can see what it is. Cut it out, make dividers, make like, banners, these things, make them look cool, add some PNGs of monsters on top of them, put quite a bit of effort in, make it look pretty decent, format your posts good, do all that good stuff, and then post it, and people will like it. Honestly, sorry guys, this has been the worst presentation I've ever done. I'm sorry. I'm ashamed of myself.
No, actually, Callum, I'm looking at the post and I know what you're saying. As an artist, like there's a saying like there's nothing original anymore. Like with art, it's basically just twisting up ideas from before so that as you said, so that you can't recognize them anymore, and then that becomes the new original. And yeah, exactly. With the digital tools that we have today, people can learn to do this quite easily, I think. And I really like what you did with the post, showing how formatting can be done. With the.
Yeah, buddy. Thanks very much. Yeah, you caught us at my first wind. Right, second wind. Let's do this the second time round. I've got it now. They say, hey, give us the inspiration to get it going. Right. Yeah, that is it. It's innovation, first and foremost. Right. At the end of the day, right, anybody who is here enjoying things has got the potential to do anything. I did not touch graphics or messing about with GIMP or Photoshop or anything before 2 or 3 months ago. Now I made a post, like I've made multiple posts for Steam Monsters, dividers, vertical banners, avatars, and I've made I've made SBD because I love Steam Monsters, like the coolest fuck. I love what they're doing, but like it doesn't matter. Like if you're here listening in, thinking about what Steam, about the potential of what Steam it is, about what we've got here as a community, learn something, like learn what this is, like the digital essence of what's here is like massive. Like, opportunity is rife. Like, it's right in front of you. You can turn anything into your dream. All you've got to do is go for it.
Yeah, man, I relate completely. I remember when I started using fractals to create art, I knew nothing about it. I downloaded the program and it was overwhelming, especially fractals. It's crazy. The programs are, when you look at it first with all the buttons and dials and things, it's overwhelming. But you just go at it and try stuff out and see how it works.
I agree. It is. I think one final point I'd like to say is, like, with design, with art, with anything like this, is your most valuable tool is simplicity, right? There's nothing better than a black line. There's nothing better than total, like, nothing. There's nothing better than nothing. Don't overcrowd your page. Don't try and make it too busy. Just make it seamless, and like, everything's got a flow. That's, no matter what it is, that's the universe. It's got a flow. It's the same with design. It's the same with writing. It's the same with everything. If you're writing, if you're making something, everything's just got to come from your brain. Someone's got to read it, someone's got to look at it, and it's just got to flow on the page. Everything's got to look, and it's got to be seamless. And I know it might be crazy to hear, it might be crazy to, fuck no, that's me. I'm exhausted. Me spinal fluid from me back's gone now. Sorry, guys.
So Dream is here to refute the suggestion that she messed up your presentation in the first place.
Oh, she's always chatting. Dream Steam. Dream Steam is Dream Street. Fucking hell, I can't even say her name. Dream Steam is the fastest typer on Steemit, hands down. No doubt.
That I believe.
120%. But I love her all the same. But no, it's all I want to say is Steam, not Steemit, Steam is rife with opportunity. If you understand that, you know it already. If any of you are new to here, the post that I presented shows that no matter what you know, you can still learn it. Like...
Is he still talking?
He is. And
I'm still talking.
Bluefin has a question about formatting. What is
color font? That's supposed to say color font.
I don't think you can on Steemit change color fonts yet.
Yeah,
can
he does talk more than me, Dan.
You can make it red with the div/fishy. I learned that from Penn.
Yeah, the regular HTML coloring schemes do not work on Steemit. They have overridden them.
Yeah, you can't do it in hex color, but you can do it in red. You can do, I think it's div/fishy or something like that. Yeah. John's just posted in there, the Hive.
Oh, well, that's useful. I'm going to be using that for sure. Thank you.
You never know what you're going to learn on here, Mandel.
And fishy is red?
Apparently.
Yes, it is red.
The text is red. So in that what I put up, this comment protected by is in red, and then at those sweeper tones in blue like a normal tagging person.
Camelman, I have a
I know
question.
it's your birthday.
So, Dream,
you're crazy.
I'm going to give you the opportunity to refute that Cal got thrown off by you.
If he got thrown off, it was because he was 10 sheets to the wind on rum.
No, like,
He's the
wait.
one that DM to me.
Right.
Get
No,
out of here.
listen. Like I went outside before for a cigarette, right? And someone had said something in PYPT, right? And we were chatting, and I thought about my last post, the markdown post, and I was like, oh damn, do you know what it is? Like
Yes.
that post
That is Cal right
shows
there.
that like
That is Cal.
that post really shows that anybody can come to Steam it and learn within a few months about graphical stuff, make some really shitty amateur designer, make some dividers, make some shit, make a post, and then make some money. And then Dream Steam messages out of nowhere, and I was like, fuck's sake, like,
No. He is full of it.
I think what he's trying to claim, Dream, is that your waves of text that you're so capable of doing threw him off. I think that was the claim.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. Shadows, I agree. That's it.
Yeah, no.
And I know that the reason that the waves of text threw him off was because of the 10 sheets so windy is.
You know what, Cal? I'm just gonna be quiet. I'm
Quite
not
right.
gonna say a word.
I've got 12 notifications from Dream Steam in the top left corner. I'm pretty sure they're saying like, Cal, shut up.
No, it's saying, did you seriously blame me for that? Because I have people DMing me now, cracking up and telling me that I'm getting the blame, and that was all you. But that's okay, because we have a date tomorrow, and we will discuss it tomorrow.
What date? Do tell.
Yeah, I got a date with my Henny tomorrow.
Henny's for life.
Thank you. I guess we're going to have to make this Calman and Dreams team.
Oh, sorry, I just have a quick question before Cal.
Sure, Mandel.
So, Cal, you mentioned Steam Monsters, and it's something I've seen around a lot for quite a while. Just want to know if you would mind sending me a DM maybe later, like just to let me know what it's all about. And I mean, I sort of got the impression when I checked it out that it was a bit late for me to join at this point. Yeah, but I'm just curious about that.
In essence, it might have been a little bit late for you to join, but good man. Let's get you involved in this. Let's get you involved in Steam Monsters, man. Will Sage, like it's so much fun. It's so much fun.
I mean, yeah, I've been so intrigued by the idea of participating in a game, a blockchain game. So yeah, if it's still possible to join, that'd be awesome.
I just dropped two things into chat for you, Mandel. One is the Steam Monsters page on Steemit. The second one is the Steam Monsters Discord.
Okay,
thank you very much. Thank you.
Kurt Ross has asked the question, he's been noticing his vote is worth more lately. What's the possible reason for that? And that would be reflective of the fact that Steam actually has moved up some this week. It's up in the 150 range. It was at one point up to 180, but I think it's dropped back into the mid-50s. Yeah, 155. So the more it moves up, the more your vote will move with it, Kurt Ross. Okay. Crypto Chris, you are up.
We're appreciated. Everyone can hear me okay?
I can hear you.
Awesome. So I am just grabbing the post really fast. All right. So the post I'm putting up, I think everyone can see it. There we go. All right. So this is actually the 100th video that I've done since I've been on the Steam blockchain posting and content. And in my journey on Steam, I've noticed that Steam had some things missing. It doesn't really have a place built into it yet for communities. I know Hive is on the cusp, but as of right now, it doesn't. Also, it doesn't have a place where communities can collaborate and also look out to find new members, as well as a place for members to go and have their own elaborate community around them, and to find a niche community that they can join or be a part of. And so the Community Growth Project is seeking out to deliver all of this. And then since we've created the website cgp.life. And so there were some issues with the original deploy of it, where things like the avatar for the group pages and individual pages were not working. And so I spent about 2 weeks trying to dig through the code and get everything working. And by going through that process, I also found some things, quality of life issues with the website that I wanted to fix. And so I've incorporated more things into the website. We are tied into Steam Connect, so you can actually interact with the Steam blockchain from the website. You could do things like power-ups through block trade directly through the website. But every community has their own page in a private forum where they can do file sharing, they can collaborate, they can set up projects. And let's say if you're developing like a community website and you have multiple members working on there, you can assign roles and track all of that right inside the website. But there's also other features, like you can get your community featured on the front page of the website to draw more attention to it. And so essentially what the Community Growth Project is trying to do is become the melting pot for communities and people seeking to join communities or niche markets where they can build out and grow and network. And so in this video, I just kind of do a walkthrough of a lot of the features of the website and show how the website ties in and interacts with communities in Steam itself, and some of the use cases and how to navigate the website and do some of the things within it. So you guys get a chance, take a look at it, https://cgp.life. And if you haven't seen the Community Growth Project on Steam, know that even though we do daily posts, we're always in the Discord channels and on the website and working in the background with many people in many communities, trying to help promote them and tie people to the communities and things like that. All of the graphics, the animations in our videos and everything you see is created by Steamians, and this website is designed for Steamians and all the things that's coming in the future for Steam. And I'm hoping that once Hive is released and the community start onboarding in larger groups, that we can use the website as a cross-platform to fill the gaps that the Hive community feature doesn't offer on Steam, and just continue to help onboard and grow the community and kind of bridge that gap between centralized and decentralized.
Chris, you might want to edit your post. The very first instance of the link to your website is not working. The HTTPS is in there twice.
Can I just step in after Chris? Chris B there? Is that okay? Chris, Crypto Chris or CJ Barto was a member of Buddy Up 2 months ago. Community Growth Project isn't something that's been around like now. It's been going for a while now. Probably the reason why people haven't saw Community Growth Project is the fact that it's more DTube orientated. It is there on Discord, obviously, and there's an element on Steam, but CJ Barto is more DTube orientated. You know, he likes to speak within his videos. It's back to what Mandel Sage was saying about that expression, about talking in the videos, and then you know getting that expression out. That's what Crypto Chris B does, CJ Barto. And the Community Growth Project is kind of taking the Steam platform into DTube, and it's broadening the communities into that, you know, and even just from my perspective, from what CJ Barto has done for Buddy Up, you know, he's every day this guy is putting out videos. Every day. I'm not even joking. I'm not shitting you. Every day. He's putting out videos, talking about cryptocurrencies, talking about communities that are here on Steemit, and sharing, expressing what they're all about. And these are the type of communities that I value here, that it's like that people don't see, you know, the under the radar, because it's DayTube. People are here for Steam it. We're all here for Steam it. And CJ Batu's on the other side on DayTube making it all happen, you know, and it's brilliant to see. He's doing fantastic work. He's got mass respect from me, always has.
And just to jump back in there, Caleb, I know that our content is mostly DTube centric, but just like, you know, we constantly refer people to Buddy Up, we've also started working with other communities like D-Unite, D-Live community, the Steam game community, Steam bloggers. There's some other corporations and communities within just Steam It and D-Live. We've also started working with communities like Musing and D-Like, and you know, we do like tutorials and walkthroughs and explanations of the larger communities, especially, or like new communities or new dApps, because, you know, as Crypto Chris B, crypto is part of my thing. So anytime a community that's doing something good for Steam and for the blockchain, we want to get that out in front of as many people as possible, as fast as possible. And that's where the niche marketing and niche referrals come from. And, you know, Caleb, I definitely appreciate all the kind words. You've always supported me since I've been here. So really appreciate that. But I did just want to highlight really quick, we are trying to grow out to a lot more of the communities, and Caleb actually helped me do some writing when I first got into Steam, because I didn't really do a lot of writing, and I'm looking to actually do more of that as time permits. But working 2 jobs, being only developer on a website and running the community right now, it's just easier to push out content via video.
Well, we have a community for you when you want to improve your writing. It's called the Writer's Block.
Awesome. Thank you.
No, it's not the Writer's Block. No. I appreciate that. Like crypto Chris B, like the problem.
No, you didn't hear what he said. He said that he'd like to improve his writing.
Yeah. But I think crypto Chris B should focus on his strengths. Like, he's fantastic at speaking, and see the video elements of his content. It's fantastic. Like, you play on your strengths. Like, writing is good. Like, you can pick it up, but like, in essence, the video element, what you've got is it. Like, that's what you've got to focus on. That is it.
Cal, if he wants to improve his writing skills, there's nothing wrong with that.
Actually, like, the comment was more so I want to do more writing, and I do want to get better at writing as well, but when time permits. And that's why we're kind of doing videos now. But I am definitely going to take a look at the Writer's Block, because I feel as though that's a community that's, if it's helping writers, like, I want to be a part of seeing all the different aspects of all the different communities, because it's something there for everyone. And even if I don't utilize it right away, there could be someone else who could utilize it as well. And that's how the Community Growth Project works, right? We look at the communities and say, hey, what are you guys doing over here? What are you doing over there? This guy is new on Steam.
Were you here earlier when Rhonda was talking crypto?
I don't think I was.
Okay. You may want to get into a conversation with Rhonda. She's the one of the admins at the Writer's Block. Rhonda K.
Yeah, I'm checking him into the Welcome Center now. Chris, I'm going to go ahead and give you honorary member, and that way you can see the other channels and interact in them. And I can tell you we have a lot of community stuff going on here. We're going to be representing some projects at the Steam Creators Conference in Toronto in September, and then at least one representative, possibly 3, at Steam Fest to talk about some of the things that we got going on. So I would love to talk to you.
Oh, for sure. And I'm definitely trying to get across the water to Toronto in September. The only thing is my son graduates from the Navy at the end of August. So if financials, are cool by that time after the recovery, I'll be driving across the water because I'm right here in Detroit, Michigan. So.
Oh man, that would be Here we go, my dogs. It never fails. But they've been quiet this whole time until I key the mic. Yeah, that would be great. I would love to see you there, and I sure hope you're able to do that. That would be amazing.
Oh, for sure. I definitely want to get there and try and meet so many people because there's so many awesome people here on Steam.
Good stuff.
And just one last thing, Shadow. I'm seeing all the comments, and I can't type that fast to keep up with everyone. So thank you for all the support. Thank you all for the kind words, and thank you for your time.
Our pleasure. Don't be a stranger.
For sure.
Okay. D-Joy, you're up. D-Joy, you there? Yeah, she's there. Let's see what we can do with that mic this time around.
Okay, I hope I sound better now.
Yeah, so far so good.
Okay. That's just that post is not from my blog, but it's just a story I fell upon, and I love the opening. I think the quotes, but it's apparently or obviously a series of stories, so I just want to share it. It's kind of interesting, and it looks like it will be a very interesting read that it comes on. So I just want to share it. You guys go read. It's an interesting story. But as I said, I love that first quote that says, "There are many ways to kill a rat without seeing blood." Anonymous. So I just love it. I just like to share it so someone other people can see it and read. That's it.
All right. Thank you, D-Joy. That's probably your clearest one this evening.
Thanks.
Third time's the charm, eh?
I guess.
Okay. Katrina, you're up.
Okay, good timing. My kids need me, but they've been really good.
And the sound worked.
Yeah, it seems to just be the first time, and then it's good until I change anything. So this post is, we were talking about eagles earlier and wildfires, and right now our area is clear. Last summer, the smoke was so thick that I couldn't see across my valley, and it's not a super wide valley. So I'm really grateful for how green it is right now and how much rain we've had in June, but it's been dry the last little while, and there are fires in the province, but so far we're doing good. But there was a flare-up. It's now out, or at least completely under control, I guess. And that's what this post is about. There were a couple of different things I saw on Facebook, and the only time I really look at Facebook is when it's summer and I have to know what's happening, because sometimes the community will know about a wildfire if it's close before the government page that updates the wildfires. So I was on Facebook and I saw this picture of a fire truck at the base of this really, really big tree that was half burnt. And there was a dedicated crew of firefighters hosing down the tree to keep a couple of eagles safe that were in a nest at the top. And it was one of those, oh, Facebook is making me cry again moments. But the eagles are fine. They kept the tree safe as the fire moved through, and Mama Eagle returned, and it was just one of those feel-good hero stories that remind you that there's hope in humanity.
For sure. Thank you, Katrina.
Thank you. You guys have a good night. I'm going to go play with my kids.
Have fun. Injun, you are up. Is Injun still with us? Oh.
Looks like he's dropped out.
It does, doesn't it? And maybe his internet. So in that case, we'll move to Sergeant Dan.
Oh, hang on a minute. I thought y'all forgot about me. Give me a minute.
He was expecting Injun to be next, and he'd have more time.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
I gotta hang on.
We're hanging on. We'll give him a moment or two. There we go. I see him writing.
And at the end of my very infrequent posts I've started doing my little, what people do at the end of the post, vote for this one, that one, that one. So now at the end of my post, I have the things I Hanto proudly supports, and then I have all these little things. I got the idea from Jack Miller, the way he does, his thing. But anyway, I always have Sahanto proudly supports the bad karaoke contest. So, having done that, I'm going to pimp this post. This is round 10. And I noticed there aren't any entries yet, at least not in the comments of the post of Some Girl and Snook's bad karaoke contest. And I'm waiting with bated breath to see who's the winner of round 9. But, which I got Keurig on my round 9. I can't brag that up. But anyway, yeah, round 10 is coming around. And bad karaoke, of course, Some Girl and Snook can tell you about this. It's not about how good, how bad, how whatever. It's just a fun thing to do. I'm still waiting on Shadow, and I'm going to challenge her until the cows come home.
Well, cows better get home.
You could do a duet with Fiona. Yeah, but it's a lot of fun for those of you that don't know about, the bad karaoke contest, and it's just fun. You don't have to be professional. You don't have to have a piano and guitar and all that. Although if you have that, that's okay too. It's just for everybody to have some fun. So, check it out. Enter. If not enter, check out the ones that did enter and vote for them and stuff, and just have a good time. It's always good for the positive things on the Steam.
This is true. And yes, Clinique, that is a busy.org link, which is totally okay.
When does this bad karaoke finish?
Well, they're doing it for a week. They were doing it every 2 weeks, and I think starting with this one, the post was just put out today. I think it was about 11 hours ago or something like that. So they're going back to a week. They used to do it for a week, and then they went to a 2-week thing. So you had 2 weeks to get it in.
Right. Sarge, send me a message tomorrow. Like, I'm doing it this week. I've been saying it for week on week on week on week on week. It doesn't need to be Sarge. It needs to be anyone. Send us a message tomorrow. I'm doing it. I'm a little bit drunk now, but like, I'm doing it. I've got a song in my head. I've been wanting to do it. I will do it tomorrow. Whoever calls us out tomorrow, fuck knows. Like, do you want the payout of the post? Like,
Calaman, where are you at? Are you in Ireland, Scotland, England, somewhere over there?
Yeah, I'm in the UK, buddy.
Well, that way I know what time to send it to you. And after this drunk, you probably won't be up for a few hours unless you have to go into work or something.
Ah, dude, I don't work on a weekend, especially not on my birthday.
Well, that's right. Today's Thursday. But tomorrow is Friday. Don't you have to work on the Friday?
Not on my birthday.
Maybe tonight is the perfect time for you to do it.
Quite right, man. Quite right. Destiny, buddy. Destiny.
Thank you, Sarge. Clinique, you're up.
Okay, so earlier today I was on My Life in 8 Songs with Pensive, and I took the time. This time around, he asked that I use 8 original songs from me. The last time I was on My Life in 8 Songs, he asked that I use 8 songs that basically tell my life story. This time again, he asked that I use 8 songs original from me, written by me or maybe my band. So feel free to go to the post and see these 8 songs that I chose that define who I am. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Clinique. Kitty Girl. Thank you, Mandel Sage. Hopefully we see you again. And Kitty Girl. She's probably getting her link. There she is.
Well, since we've got a few people here tonight that weren't here this morning, I thought I'd share this again. This is the first serious piece that was added to my collection of minerals and stones and crystals and things. It was an arrowhead that was actually dug up from the ground by my former father-in-law when he was tilling his garden, and just wanted to let everybody know that if you keep your eyes peeled as you're tilling your gardens and flower beds and whatnot, you might find some interesting things. So I'll let that be it for right now, since I've already shared another post.
Good post there, Kitty Girl. And Bluefin.
Is that an actual arrowhead?
Yes, that is an actual arrowhead from the Cherokee that was found in some of their hunting grounds.
Nice.
Bluefin.
I am going to step in for our dear friend Artemis North, who is off taking care of her daughter. I am posting, pimping her U-log that came out, chatting a little bit about exciting times, what she's doing to get ready for exciting times, and also for she was going on about her day and getting ready to take care of lots of extras around the house. She also mentioned Curation Corner, which is a pretty cool thing. So go check out her post and see what she's been up to, and we'll look forward to it.
Was that the one where she got into telling some of her jokes?
No, it's the one where she talked about Curation Corner and Carl, and also about getting the house ready. She wasn't sure if Desi was dealing with Braxton Hicks or what. She wasn't dealing. I think the jokes one was 2 days ago.
Ah, I've missed this one. I'm glad you brought it to my attention. Thank you, Bluefin. And Injun, are you with us?
I am. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you.
Okay, I have to fetch the link.
That's a good plan.
Well, while he's fetching his link, I see he put in the chat that sometimes people form rocks and stones to look like arrowheads. And I saw something in Wikipedia that was talking about how millions of arrowheads are created every year by people who, just want to recreate the experience of doing an arrowhead. I thought that was really interesting. I can't remember the exact number of people that they cited doing it. I meant to actually put that in the post, but thought it was interesting.
You mean people that do their own flint knocking? I mean, actually sit there and break their own?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, I just pulled it up and it said modern enthusiasts still produce over 1 million brand new spear and arrow points every year. I'm going to add that to the post. I thought that was fascinating.
That's insane. It's a whole lot of. Do they use them?
I don't know if they actually use them or if they just want the experience of doing it. In fact, I even saw a documentary on PBS one time a couple of years ago where they actually took some stones and, went through the process of how the people would do it, chipping away here and chipping away there to do it. And it's pretty interesting. Okay, so go ahead and do your post, Engine.
Okay. I grew up on the res, some so it's pretty interesting to me. And I missed the actual presentation because my internet's being stupid, but I will be sure to go and read that, Kitty. This here is Katrina's follow-up to the post she put up earlier that got a lot of hullabaloo. She has redone the song a little bit, and it's pretty fabulous. It's also an entry for the Art of Music contest, which and is starting to pick up a little traction. She's won it quite a few times already. Yes, if you enjoy her singing, go check it out. She also does a cover of, well, I don't really know how to say that chick's name. Ani DeFranco, maybe? DeFranco?
Yeah, Annie DeFranco.
And yeah, there you go. I've never even heard that song before, but she sang it pretty well. But I'm a fan of Katrina's music, so.
I'd have never caught on.
Go. Yeah, go check it out. It's good stuff.
So while you've got the mic.
I have a mic. Hey, everybody, guess what? On Saturday, y'all need to come to the witness chat. That's at 11 p.m. Eastern, which is, what is that, 4 or 5? UTC, GMT?
3.
4, okay. And also tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, which is at 6?
Yeah.
Yes, 6 UTC. There will be another show over here on Ramblin' Radio called Words with Witty. So you can come hang out with me and maybe we'll have some words. It should be good, though. I promise. It will be. Hopefully the stream will last long enough. I picked a good time of day for my internet, so. and we had it all worked out. I got most of the bugs worked out. I'm going to do a few more streams tonight and make sure got all the sound levels where they need to be in there and stuff. So, woohoo! Look forward to that.
Good stuff. The premiere show.
Premiere of Words with Witty. Yes.
All right. Is there anybody else had anything else they wanted to present? And you have been listening to Shadows Pub host Pimp Your Post Thursday evening edition from the Steam at Ramble. Until next time, it's all about community. And goodbye, Wilma.